Hey guys, my name is Ivan, and in this video I want to show you a complete step-by-step LinkedIn ads tutorial, basically a free course, which will have everything you need to know about LinkedIn ads so that you never have to watch another LinkedIn ads tutorial or buy any course because everything will be right here. I'm going to show you everything all the way from creating your LinkedIn ads account to creating your LinkedIn ads page, creating different types of campaigns, setting up conversion tracking, creating different audience lists, creating lead generation forms, conversation ads, everything you need to know, all right? By the time you finish this video, you should be an expert. I have been doing affiliate and online marketing for the past 8 years now, and I have used a variety of paid ad networks, and LinkedIn ads is one of my favorite just because of the level of detail that they give you, they allow you to do when selecting your audience. So this generally results in higher conversions. And for those of you asking why LinkedIn ads in general, well, according to statistics, LinkedIn has 1 billion active users as of 2024. That's a lot of people, right? And the other statistics also show that the LinkedIn user base are generally people that are wealthier and more educated. So depending on your target audience, this could be a perfect fit for you to sell some of your products and services. So we're going to get into it here in a second as you watch everything behind my shoulder. If you could please like and share this video because I really want to get this out to as many people as possible. This is a free course that I'm sharing everything people need to know. And it would be amazing if as many people got to it as possible, all right? So if you could help me help others, that would be incredible, all right? So let's get straight into it. So the first thing we have to do to create our LinkedIn ads is actually create a LinkedIn ads account. And before that, we have to create a LinkedIn ads personal account, all right? So all you guys have to do is head over to linkedin.com and just sign up if you don't have an account and just basically fill in details about yourself, okay? So fill in your name, what you're doing currently, where you are, basically like a resume, right? So fill something in to make it as obviously legitimate and good looking as possible. But the main reason why we are first setting up our LinkedIn profile is so that we can actually advertise. So once you do that, you will see an option on the top right that's going to say advertise, or if you click on for business, you will have the option here that says advertise on LinkedIn. Okay, so these are the two buttons that we have that we can click on. So click on advertise on LinkedIn and you will be taken to this page, get started with LinkedIn ads. So we're going to click on create ad. And it's going to take us to now the campaign manager over here. So your page will actually look something like this. Of course, you won't have any accounts. I have a few accounts from before. This is the page that you will see without anything. So the first thing we're going to have to do is create an ad account. And to do that, we will have to create a LinkedIn ads page, all right, which I'm going to show you how to do here as well. So now that we're here, we can close out of that. And basically, you're just going to click on create a new account. And you can give it a name. So let's say Ivan's ad account, or let's say LinkedIn ads free course. Let's do that. And then you would select your currency and then you need a page. Okay, so just like with Facebook ads, you do need kind of this face of who is promoting. So it does say optional here, but it is a good practice to do because once you, for example, even start sending out conversation ads, which are like messages, you ideally want it to come from a company rather than yourself, right? So it is a good practice to have your page for many benefits. Additionally, you can also later on set up retargeting. So you can actually target people that landed and visited this page. You can hit them with the ads, right? So it is a good practice. So we're just going to click on add new here and we're going to create a page together. So depending on what you're doing, if you're a school or a university, you select this option. There's a showcase page. Honestly, not sure what that is, but the majority of us will be going with this company, right? So just basically a business. So we can enter organization name. So in this case, what I could do is, let's suppose for the purpose of this video, we want to promote a Learn Spanish product, a Learn Spanish guide. So I'm using Unbounce here. So I'm going to go ahead and open up that page just to show you. So let's suppose that this is the page and this is the product that we want to focus on, all right? So we can come back here, we can name it, let's say Learn Spanish Super Quickly, something like that. We would enter the URL, so linkedin.com/company/ whatever you have here, you can change that. You can enter the website, so this is where our website would come in handy, which is this one. Now, don't mind the ugly URL at the top, this is just an example. And then for industry, let's suppose, I think it's language schools, we could say that. Organization size, we just have us, for example. Well, we do. Organization type, so what are you? Are you a public company? Are you self-employed, government agency, nonprofit? Let's say it's a sole proprietorship. That's the easiest. You can also add a logo as well, so it just looks nice over there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then you can add a tagline. So what is this? So we can say, we help anyone trying to learn Spanish in just 138 words. That's the premise of this offer here, to learn Spanish, right? Yeah, 138 words. And then you can say that you are indeed the owner of this organization. We're going to say create page. So now that that's done, we should be good to go. Now you could, of course, add more stuff. You can add some media, some description, some location. It's not relevant to continue and to create the campaign, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it because the main emphasis here in this course is on LinkedIn ads, right? So that's where we're going to be spending more of our time on. But of course, you want to take your pride in and create as nice of a page as possible to make it as credible as possible, all right? But that said, this is our page. So if you recall, the URL was something like LinkedIn company / learn Spanish quickly. So let's see if we can type that in over here. It was learn Spanish super quickly. See if that opens up, and it just opens up to that. So that's fine. So then we can come back in here, right? And then we can look up this page now. So we can say learn Spanish super quickly, and that's the one. And then we're going to hit save. And then this is basically how we create our account, right? So we've created our ad account. We've created our campaign. Now, before we actually do anything, the first thing we have to do is add a payment method. So what you guys have to do is click on account settings, click on billing center, and just add your payment information here, add a credit card. You can add your business information, and then you will be able to see all your business activity here, okay? So that's the first thing you want to do, just get that out of the way. Now, the other thing we want to do before we actually start advertising is set up conversion tracking. This is absolutely important, and I always say that you cannot hit a target that you can't see, because if you don't set up conversion tracking for your campaigns, you're just going to be spending money, and you will have no idea what actually works and what doesn't. Right? So the first thing we're going to do here is set up conversion tracking for our website, and then we're going to go in and create the campaign. So in order to set up conversion tracking, what you guys have to do is click on Analyze and then click on Insight Tag. So we're going to add this Insight Tag on every page of our site. So we're going to click on Create Insight Tag. We're going to say Agree and Create. And then we're going to install the tag ourselves because that's the point of this video. And then this is the code that we have to add. So we're just going to go ahead and copy this code here. We're going to come back to our landing page. We're going to click on Edit here for the landing page, and we're going to add it here. So let's suppose we want to track how many people enter their email, right? That's the main point of this campaign. We want to track how many people enter their email and sign up. So we're going to click on JavaScript here at the bottom of the page, click on Add New JavaScript. By the way, you guys can use whatever page builder you want. Obviously, if you're using WordPress, Lead Pages, anything like that is totally fine. Just look for the JavaScript option, right? Look for the code option where you can enter this code. That's the main thing you have to do. And then we're going to paste that LinkedIn code here. We're going to say before body end tag, because that's what it tells us to do here. It says right above the closing body tag, right? And then we're going to name it LinkedIn Ads Insight Tag, or just LinkedIn Ads Tag is fine, whatever you want. And we're going to hit save. Okay, so now this code is on the landing page. However, we also need to add it on the thank you page, because that's where people will actually go after they sign up, right? So we're just going to go back here. We're going to go back to our thank you page here for Synergy Spanish, which is right here. And if you guys want to try Unbounce yourself, highly recommend it. I do offer you a 14-day free trial and a 20% off on your first 3 months if you sign up. Just head over to go.ivanmana.com/unbounce and you can try it out yourself. I've been using it for the past 5 years or so. I never went back. So we're on the thank you page now. So we're going to click on JavaScript, click on Add New JavaScript, come back here, copy this again, paste it right there, say before the body end tag, and then we're going to say again, LinkedIn Ads Insight Tag, okay? So now this will allow LinkedIn ads to communicate with our website, right? So then we're just going to have to set up the conversions from here on. So that looks good. So we could go back. And so now that you've added the code, now we can set up the conversion tracking. So we can specify what exactly do you want to track. So we're going to click on conversion tracking over here, and we're going to say create conversion via insight tag, right? Because we just set up the insight tag. So over here, we could say, what's the name of our conversion? Well, it's going to be, let's say, Synergy Spanish signups. and then define the key conversion. So what do you want to name this conversion? Well, it's a lead, right? It's a sign up. So it could be complete sign up. It could be just a sign up, could be a start trial, whatever works for you. I think I'm going to go with sign up. Because you specified at the beginning of the account creation that your account will be in US dollars, the only option here we have is in US dollars. So you're going to enter the value of the conversion, right? How much is each lead, each sign up worth for you? So if you don't know the number off the top of your head, you could count backwards. So for example, if it takes 100 sign ups to get one sale and each sale is worth $100, then you would work backwards and you would divide $100 by 100 leads, which would give you 1. So the value of this conversion would be 1. Again, this isn't necessary. This is just something you could do so that you have an exact value in your actual stats, in your dashboard when you look at it. But obviously you can set whatever you want. You can set the time frame for when the conversion will be counted. So you have clicks. So if somebody clicks on your ad, if this is set to 30 days, then if somebody buys 35 days later, that will not be considered a conversion. If somebody buys before 30 days, that will be considered a conversion after clicking on your ad. For the views, if somebody just views your ad without actually clicking on it, let's suppose they just view your ad and then they go somewhere else, they go on Facebook ads or they're just, Google SEO, and then they see your website, they click on your website and they buy. If you give them 7 days, as long as that happens within 7 days, that will be considered a conversion because you're basically saying, hey, because you saw my ad, you were influenced, right? So that's what this number here is. So you can leave it at 7 days, that's fine. The default for most other paid ad networks is usually 1 day, just because, it's hard to gauge if somebody views your ad, whether that's actually relevant to them buying. So just something for you to keep in mind. For the attribution model, so if you have many different campaigns that lead to the same purchase of the same product, how do you want to set your attribution model? So if it's each campaign, then every single one of those campaigns that leads to that sale will get one conversion attributed to them, right? So that way you'll be able to see which exact campaigns took part in the sale. If you say last campaign, then only the last campaign that actually resulted in the sale at that time will get the conversion attributed to them. So that's what these two mean, okay? So we're going to leave it at last campaign for now because we really only just have the one campaign set up. But if you do have many different campaigns, you would consider selecting each campaign. So we're going to click on next step. And we already set up the insight tag. So you're going to click on manual conversions setup. And it says here to copy the insight tag code, which we already have. And we are talking about the page load, right? So as long as the thank you page gets loaded, let's go to the thank you page here. That means that somebody signed up, right? Because the only way somebody could get to your thank you page is by signing up. So we're going to make sure that we want to include this thank you page here in this page conversion. So match a URL that, let's say, contains, and then we're going to copy this URL here. We're going to come back and paste it here, right? So as long as this page loads, as long as any page that has this in the URL gets loaded, that will be registered as a conversion, okay? So the only page that has this in there is the thank you page, right? That's basically the idea. There's no other page that will have this. Alternatively, of course, you would name the page like thank you page, right? That's ideal if you give it a name. But in this case, we're just using custom, just default pages just for example purposes. So this is the one that basically corresponds to the thank you. You could also add additional pages here. You can say and also, and if you have pages like upsell page, downsell page, whatever those are, you could also add them here. And that is basically it. Now, if you have many different variations of a thank you page, you can also add a new or rule. So you can say as long as the URL contains this, or let's say you do have a page that ends in thank-u, you would enter that here, okay? So let's suppose we're going to say that. We're going to say next. And then it's saying which campaign do you want to track with this conversion? We don't have the campaigns yet, so we're just going to click on create. And we will create the campaign, which will allow us to select this conversion. But it was very important for us to create this conversion first so that we actually know where we're heading once the campaign goes live, and especially so we don't forget it either. So congratulations on creating your conversion. Now it's finally time to go in there and actually create the campaign for our page right here, right? So we're going to come back in here And now we're going to click on advertise. And we have this new default campaign group. So we can just go in here and let's see if we can delete it. So we can just start from scratch. So with LinkedIn ads, you have 3 kind of umbrellas, same as with any other paid ad networks. Like with Google ads, you have the campaign, the ad group level, and the ad level. With Facebook ads, you have the campaign level, ad set level, ad level. With LinkedIn ads, you have the campaign group level, the campaign, and the ads. Okay, so same thing, just different names. So we're going to click on create. We're going to click on campaign group because we want that top umbrella. And let's suppose we're going to say Synergy Spanish website visits. And as you can see here, there are different objectives, right? So what this does is allows LinkedIn to show ads to people that are most likely to do any one of these objectives. So if you say website visits, LinkedIn ads will show your ads to people most likely to visit your site. If you select, for example, engagement, LinkedIn ads will show your ads to people most likely to engage. So to like, to comment, to share, right? Things like that. So what's your goal? So in this video, I'm going to show you how to do this website visits campaign because it's super simple. And then I'll also show you how to create a lead generation and a messaging campaign because those are a little bit different, but still really cool to set up. So let's select here website visits. And then you would, of course, enter the budget. You don't want to just keep spending all your money. So we're going to click on, and then you can set a daily budget or you can set a lifetime budget, whatever works for you. So let's suppose daily budget, the minimum is $30. So let's say we do $50 here. And then you have the bidding strategy. So you can get the most results possible with your budget, which basically gives LinkedIn ads free reign over the amount of times your ad is shown, and it just goes wild, right? So you give it a budget and then it just spends the budget as much as it can. Then you have the cost cap where you'll be able to set your target cost per goal, cost per conversion, and LinkedIn ads will try to get as many sales within that. Or you have the manual bidding where you'll be able to control your bids and set exactly how much you're willing to spend per click, right? So let's go with manual bidding because it gives us, I think, the most amount of control and it's the best for just getting started. You can also say when you want to start your campaign to run, or if you want to start an end date, you can do that over here as well. We're just going to say, let's start today and go with it, right? Let's go ahead and click on create. And there you go. Congratulations. So our campaign for Synergy Spanish website visits is here. We see all our columns over here, the clicks, the average CTR, the bid, the conversions, everything here. And then you can adjust your columns as well if you click over here and then click on customize columns. And so over here, you'll be able to go in here and add anything you like or remove anything you don't like, anything like that. You can just play around with it and then click update. And then you'll be able to see everything right here. All right. So now that we've created the campaign group, we're ready to actually create the campaign. So we can click on this campaign group and then we don't have anything. So we're going to click on create campaign. And now we're just going to start from the beginning. So it's telling us to confirm which campaign group we want. This is indeed the campaign group we want to work with. So we're going to go ahead and click on next. And by the way, if you guys have any questions, if there are technical issues or anything like that, you can just click on this chat option over here and you'll be able to talk with LinkedIn ad support. They're actually pretty good, pretty fast, at least for me in my experience. Maybe I'm lucky because you don't get the same level of support from some other paid ad networks. But it is really good support, real humans answering legitimate, questions very well. So just letting you know. So let's name this campaign. So I'm going to leave it blank for now. Let's first change our audience. Let's select who exactly we want to target, how we want to target, and then we're going to give it a name, right? So that way, once we see all the different campaigns that we have, we'll be able to at a glance see what the targeting is. So let's leave that blank for now. I'll delete it so we don't forget. And then the first thing here is you'll be able to set your location. So where do you want to target? So let's suppose we want to target Canada. We want to target United States. We're going to target United States. And let's suppose we want to target Australia. We're going to select Australia. So that looks good. So we can hit close. And now we're targeting these 3 countries. You can also exclude. So if you want to exclude certain states or cities, you can do that. So if you want to exclude, for example, New York, let's say you want to target the whole United States, but you don't want to target the New York State, then you can do that here. All right. Then over here, this is the language. So what is the language that your audience speaks? This is what you would set over here. Obviously, in this case, it's English. And then here is where we get the audience targeting. So we can actually target people based on their interests, their demographics, things like that. So we're going to click on narrow over here, and then you can choose from existing audiences, which we will get into in this free course as well. Or if you're new, if you don't have any audience groups yet, which you probably won't if you're just starting out, you can go with audience attributes. So this is the targeting that you have, right? So you can target people that work at specific companies, people that are of a certain age, obviously that's normal, people that have certain education, certain degrees, certain job experience, certain interests, things like that. So really cool. So let's suppose we want to target somebody that wants to learn Spanish, right? So let's think of something. What would somebody that wants to learn Spanish be interested in, or have an education in? Things like that. So let's go into member interests and let's see if we can type in, let's say Spanish, no, let's say languages, maybe language, computer language. So none of these don't really make sense. Maybe let's click on general interest and see what's here. You can go through and play around. There are a lot of different options here. Okay, so I went ahead and went to member traits, and I think we can go with frequent travelers. So this is pretty cool. So let's say international frequent travelers, right? So we're going to be targeting people that frequently travel abroad that could probably benefit from a new language. So we could, of course, go in here and see if there's anything else we could find. Maybe somebody that wants to learn Spanish has a certain degree or field of study, right? This is a little bit more complicated to do, but something you could look into. But for demographics, let's say for age, we do want to select this to say that our ads have nothing to do with employment, housing, education, or credit. Otherwise, that would be discriminatory, and LinkedIn ads does not allow that. So we're going to select it. So let's suppose we want to target somebody who is from 18 to 54, for example. So we can do that here, right? And by the way, in this case, we don't want to do or, right? We want to do the same. So instead, we're going to change it to and. So we're going to say people that have these traits and they're from 18 to 54, all right? And they are in Canada, US, and Australia, but not New York. So that is pretty much it for the audience. You can also enable audience expansion, which will allow LinkedIn to show ads to people that are not only fitting these criteria, but also something that they think is a little bit more. So they're going to expand the criteria by a bit to try to get you more traffic. So you can select it off, you can select it on, it's fine. As you can see here, our target audience didn't really change much. So I usually keep it off, but if you want to experiment and try to get new ideas, you can of course enable it. So now that we're done with the audience, we can come back here and give it a name, right? So we could say 18 to 54, and then we can say CA, US, AU, and then we can say international frequent travelers. National frequent travelers. So once you have several different campaigns, you'll be able to take a look at this and know exactly what targeting each campaign has, right? So you don't have to actually click on the campaign and go into it and spend all that time. So that is that. So you have different options here in terms of the ad format. You can have just a single image. You can have a carousel image, so different images. You can have a video. You can actually attach a document, or you could have an event. So you can select any one of these, and then on the actual ad creation page, you'll be able to see what it looks like. But for the purpose of this video, we'll just go with a single image ad. I think it's the simplest and will allow us to proceed. So you can leave the URL tracking parameters optional. This is if you have a third-party tracking system, which we don't in this video. So we're just going to leave it blank. And then over here, you can choose the placements. So do you want to show it only on LinkedIn or also on the LinkedIn audience network? So they don't tell you exactly what these third-party publishers are, but they're basically sites that are partnered with LinkedIn, that LinkedIn trusts, where your ads will also be shown. So if you want to show your ads there, you can also select it. I'm going to say I only want my ads to be seen only on LinkedIn. So I'm just going to deselect that option here. You have the group budget. Over here, you have the bid, right? So remember at the campaign group level, you had the chance to set the bidding option, how you want to pay. And now over here, finally, you can say how much are you willing to pay per click. So some of the clicks here are more expensive. It says here, for example, $11.80 per click, but keep in mind, the targeting is much more fine-tuned here with LinkedIn, and the audience is wealthier generally and more educated, right? So the chances to convert are generally higher on LinkedIn, especially if you can narrow in and hone in on your perfect audience here. You don't have to do what LinkedIn ads recommended, so we can just go ahead and say, for example, $10, but you could put it a little bit lower, like maybe $5 or so, and then just see how it goes, right? And if you're getting enough clicks and enough impressions, maybe you don't have to make it $10. So that's basically how you would do that. And then this is why we set up conversion tracking, right? So here we have to say exactly what is that conversion tracking objective that we set up earlier that we want to track. So we're going to go ahead and select this one, Synergy Spanish signups. That's the one that we created to track our leads. And then we're going to click next. Your objective and ad format cannot be changed once you save. Okay, so just make sure you go through this and make sure that everything looks good. The single image ad, our audience looks good here. Yeah, like the audience you can change. That's not a problem, but you just want to make sure everything looks good. So we're going to hit save. And now this is where we're going to actually create our ad. So the cool thing about LinkedIn is that if you created ads already before, you don't have to create a brand new ad every time. You basically just paste your existing ad that you have. In this case, we don't have any. So we're going to click on create new ad over here. And we're just going to start from scratch. So this is just the name of our ad here. So maybe once we fill in these details, we can give it a name. So first, let's write our text. Let's add our image, right? Add our destination URL. So introductory text, maybe we can just copy what these have here. We can say, now we don't want to do crazy, like too much punctuation, capital letters. That's not allowed on LinkedIn, nor most other paid ad networks, honestly. So we just want to kind of keep it down on the low. Free video reveal system that can quickly teach you get by real life Spanish with just 138 words, right? So you can do something like that. Alternatively, you can frame it in the form of a question saying like, don't have time to learn Spanish. We teach you all you need to know in just 138 words. Get started today. So for example, you can do something like that. The destination URL, we're going to copy that, paste it here. Now you can scrape it so that it's going to kind of get some ideas over here. So you don't have to manually go ahead and add it, but it doesn't really matter. You can change it up anyway. So I'm also going to go ahead and add an image, maybe of people talking. Maybe I'll add a few images. All right, so I went ahead and added these two images of people laughing, talking, having fun. You know, obviously you would take your time and find something more suitable. The other thing you can do is they do have a Shutterstock integration, which is really cool, where you can get 10 free images per month, right? So this is a really cool integration. You don't have to pay and you get some really, really high quality, good professional images. So let's suppose these guys are good, right? These two images, we're gonna click on select. And this is basically what it's going to look like. Now, we do want to kind of go through the headline, go through the description, make sure it's good. So it says here, Synergy Spanish was absolutely excellent. It was easy to follow and the learning. Yeah, so that actually looks like a pretty good headline. I like it. The only thing I'm going to do is add the quotation mark. So I like that one. And then over here, the description looks fine too. I'm not seeing any big issues with that. So we're just going to leave this as is. I'm pretty happy with that. And then we do want a call to action. So what do we want people to do, right? So we want people to sign up or to learn more, right? So we can say learn more. I think it's pretty neutral. And then we can say save. And now this ad is going to be saved to our old campaigns that we'll be able to add anytime later on as well. So we have the two different ads with the two different images for testing. And you can take a look. You can always change the name of the ad. You can come in here and click on edit if you want to see what it's going to look like, or if you want to change anything as well, you can do that. We didn't change the name of the ad, but you know, I think these are fine. These are pretty straightforward. You can see what the ad is from here. So we can click on next. And then this is basically the final kind of revision part before we actually publish anything, right? And then you're just going to keep scrolling down and just make sure everything is good. You have the ads. Now you do need to enter payment methods. I didn't add my own payment information as I suggested to you that you do. So I'm just going to go ahead and input all these details just so we can save and proceed. And then I will see you on the next page. All right, so I went ahead and added all my payment information. And so here we have the campaign being active, right? And then here you have the ads that are going to be under review now. So what I'm going to do first is, of course, pause these because I don't want them to run. But congratulations, you have successfully created your website visits campaign on LinkedIn ads. All right, that's amazing. And before we go any further, a quick message from our sponsor. If you're doing affiliate marketing and are looking to promote products in the parental control niche, phone tracking, and healthcare, among many others, then Bizzoffers is the perfect solution for you. I recently met the guys from the Bizzoffers affiliate team, and they're currently seeking affiliates skilled in arbitrage, PPC, and media buying. They operate on a CPA and revenue share payment model, and just like with any other affiliate program, you will earn a commission every time somebody makes a purchase by clicking on the affiliate link to the product's website. And here's how this works. You're going to click on the link below this video so you will land on a page that looks like this. Then click on join now and fill out the registration form and wait for the application confirmation. They say it takes 1 business day, but in my case it took less than an hour. Once confirmed, you'll receive an email with access to your personal account. Log in there, choose a product that is perfect for your audience, copy your unique link to track sales, and start earning. Bizzoffers provides weekly payments and multiple payout options, as well as they store cookies for 120 days. So if someone clicks on your ads and buys 3 months later, for example, you will still get paid for that sale. I recommend the Bizzoffers affiliate program because they seem to truly care about each partner, helping with their expertise, tips, custom creatives, and even with promoting your resource and growing your audience. If you're ready to get started, visit their website via the link below this video, sign up, access proven offers, and start earning. So now what I want to do is I want to show you how to create a lead gen campaign and a conversation campaign, because these are really cool and a little more personal. And the lead gen campaign allows you to actually collect details from the people, like their email and things like that. And then after that, I'm going to show you how to create audiences so that you can remarket to people, and you can create saved audiences as well, so you don't have to keep on remaking the same audience list for every campaign. All right. So we could go into advertise and we could create a new campaign group and click on lead gen. So we can do that, and we can create a lead gen form from there. Or alternatively, the first thing we could do is head over into assets, click on lead gen forms over here, and create the form that we can then use in our ad. So it'll be a little bit easier because then we just have to plug and play basically. So we're going to click on create form. We're going to give it a name. Let's say Synergy Spanish sign up form. The language is going to be in English, of course. We're going to give it a headline. Let's say, want to learn Spanish in just 138 words. Sign up below, and okay, so the limit is 60 characters, so we can't say that much, but we can just say sign up below and start. Okay, so we can just say that. Want to learn Spanish in, let's say 138 words, sign up below and start. Yeah, we can say that. Offer details, we can come in here and we could say something like, maybe copy that part, add in here. This is too long, so let's suppose, let's come in and edit. Okay, so I went ahead and added that. You can also enter a privacy policy page URL. Well, you have to, so I don't know if I have one for that page, so I'm just gonna go ahead and enter my own from my own website right here. And then you can enter privacy policy text details, like for example, we promise to keep your data confidential or something like that. And then that's just going to show up right here at the bottom, just below the form. And then over here, you have the lead details, right? So what do you want to collect from the people? So you have 12 options here that you can select. So first name, last name, email address. You have any of these, like contact, their work, company, like let's say degree, what your degree is, right? So anything you want to obtain from the people, anything you want to know, you can do that. Also gender, anything like that. So let's say we want to see, I don't know, let's say job title. We can enter that. You can enter custom questions if you like. So you would have a question and then you can give them multiple choice or single line input. You can do that as well. Or you have a checkbox. So if you want to say something like, I give you permission to email me with special offers, right? And then you can make it required or not so that people have to click on it. And then basically that's like a checkbox that they can fill in, right? So let's just say, let's make it optional. Special offers usually are. Then we have the confirmation. So when somebody does enter that form, what do we want to say, right? So we want to say something like, thank you. You will hear from us shortly or something like that. And then we would enter that URL. So we would come back here, copy it, paste it here. And then we would have the call to action. So visit company website, learn more, view now, whatever it is. And then here you have the options, right? So people would visit this website over here. You have hidden fields. Now these hidden fields, they're not seen by the people, but they are like tags, right? So they allow you to kind of categorize whoever is filling in these forms. So like, for example, source, LinkedIn ads, campaign 1, for example, something like that. You can enter that. So just look through everything. So this is the page, right? So people are going to enter their name, their last name, their job title, and then they can check that, and then they can hit submit. And then after they hit submit, they're going to get to this thank you page. Okay, so this is basically our lead form, our lead generation form. Let's see what the two errors are. Sorry, let's delete the hidden fields. Let's click on agree and create. And so this is our form. So now we can come back in here. We can click on advertise. Let's say we want to create a different campaign. So now we're going to click on create. We're going to click on new campaign group, right? And we're going to name this, let's say Synergy Spanish. We're going to say lead generation. And now we're going to select this option over here. We're going to again set our budget for this campaign. I'm going to go just a little bit faster because you should already be familiar, but hopefully, just showing you how to do these campaigns gives you a better idea for how to do any campaigns on LinkedIn, because all of these campaigns will be pretty similar. When I say pretty similar, I mean pretty much exactly similar, right? There will just be very, very minute details in each of them. So this is going to be our lead generation campaign. So we can click on that now. We can click on create campaign. And then we can do the targeting here. So this is indeed the campaign group we want to target. We're going to name it. This one will be our targeting, right? So who we're going to target. So the other cool thing I didn't show you is you can actually click on audiences over here. And these are LinkedIn suggestion audiences. So these are audiences that they have created themselves as templates, kind of like templates, right? So it's going to be pre-existing. So if you're looking for nurses, LinkedIn already did the research to find people that are more likely to be nurses. And so that will take into account their degree, their demographics, everything like that. So let's see if we can find something to do with travel. I don't think so, or Spanish. You can look at see all audiences over here, and you have all of these options here, right, with a little bit of detail, but we're just going to leave that as is. So let's come back to where we were. Let's enter the locations again. So United States. Enter that, and then let's say we said Australia, and then let's say for this one we're not going to do anything with the demographics, just to keep things simple, but we will target, let's say, interests and traits. Again, we're going to go to member traits, and we're going to target, let's say, frequent travelers. Let's see what other options there are. Yeah, so that should be fine. Frequent travelers. Okay, so for the purpose of this campaign, we can just do CA US AU. And then we can say, again, frequent travelers. But for this one, we don't have any demographics just because you already know how to do this. We're going to deselect that. We're going to say single image. We're going to leave that. You already know how this works. This was our conversion objective that we've set up. We're going to click next. We're going to hit save. And we can browse existing content. So we can use existing ads right here. So let's suppose we want to add these two, right? So we can go ahead and say add to campaign, and that's the benefit of creating these ads in LinkedIn. You don't have to create any new ones. And then we just want to associate a lead gen form now, right? So we can come here, we can click edit, and we can scroll down, and now there should be an option for lead gen form, and that's right over here. So now that we've created it, we can just simply come in here and click that. If you didn't create it, you can just go ahead and click on create new and just do the exact same thing. But I just kind of wanted to show you just what the different options are in your LinkedIn ads interface, so that you're a little bit more acquainted with the interface. You're not as intimidated if you know how all of them are interconnected, right? So you can hit save, and then you would have to do the same for the other one as well. So this one says linked lead gen form. And then we're going to do the same thing for this one. We're going to click edit. We're going to come back down here and select the Synergy Spanish form and click save. And so that should be good. So the ads are exactly the same, except now they just have the lead gen forms, right? And it looks like this one wasn't successfully added. Let's just take a look and see what happened. Synergy Spanish sign up form. Let's click save again. Okay, so now it's been added. So now we can go ahead and click next. And we just want to verify everything, make sure everything is good. And we're going to scroll down and click launch campaign. And we're going to view campaigns. And again, so if we go to campaign groups, we're going to see all of our campaign groups here, right? So we have the two. So I showed you how to do the lead gen, how to do the website visits campaign. So pretty straightforward. Hopefully you have an idea for how exactly to set up really any campaign with LinkedIn ads at this point. Now, if you want to create a conversation ad, all you're going to do is click on conversations over here. Unlike a lead gen campaign, you can't go into the actual campaign and create the lead generation form within the campaign. So you do have to create the conversation here. So what you would do is you would click on create conversation, and then you would set it up over here. So for example, you could say name this conversation. You could say Synergy Spanish conversation. And then you would select who you want the sender to be. So in general, this should show your page. Last time it took me a few refreshes before it showed up my page. So if that doesn't work, what I did last time is contact support and got them to do it, right? So you can do that. But for the purpose of this video, we're just going to use me as the sender. It's fine. And we're just going to go in here and fill in the blanks. So we'll say Spanish conversation. We're going to say the subject. Let's say, hey, want to learn Spanish quickly in under 20 minutes, something like that. You could enter a banner, which will go alongside your ad. So I'm going to go ahead and try to add that same image that we did before. And if you want to add a custom footer terms and conditions, you can do that here by clicking this option over here and just adding it. But we're just going to leave it as is. So this is it. This looks good. We're going to go ahead and click on next step. And then over here, there are some templates, or you can create your own, right? So you can select if you want a certain template. So for example, drive website visits, and then you can customize this on the next page. So we're going to go ahead and click next step. And then over here, this is where the original message comes from, right? So it's going to say sponsored, and then it's going to ask the question. And then when somebody clicks on it, this is the message that it's going to say with these options over here. So this part over here, the first name with the 2 percentage signs, is a custom field. This will be replaced by the actual first name of the person. But these ones you have to replace, right? So you could say, hey, my name is Yvonne, and I'm a PR representative at, let's say, Synergy Spanish. We've just created a brand new section of our website to attract more people wanting to learn. Would you like to take a look? So this is the general template of the message because this is the one that you've set up before, but you could of course change this and you can say, hey, their first name. You could say, my name is Yvonne, and I'd love to share with you how you can learn Spanish in just 138 words in under 20 minutes. Are you interested, right? And so let's imagine this is the message. And then you could also add an image if you like. So I'm going to go ahead and add the same image to show you what it'll look like. So it just adds a little bit more touch. And then you have the different options, right? So if somebody says sure, then you can go ahead and, for example, send them to this URL. So here you can send them to a website, the same as here, or you can send them the next message. And then this is what would be the next message. So you can say, outside of this, we also have instructors who can help you one-on-one. Would you be interested, for example, right? So something like that, we could again add an image. So that would be the response to if somebody asks, hey, I'm interested, whatever. And so then if you scroll down, these are the responses that somebody will see to your response, right? So you have this here, and then it's saying, if somebody selects what else do you have, this is what's going to happen. So then they'll be able to have these options over here. So you can go ahead and play around with it. I mean, you can spend hours, right, having this, AI conversation with them, but let's just kind of end it here. Let's say here, and then let's just leave it at that. You can also add another button option if you want. And so if that looks good, you're just going to go ahead and click on create. And so now if we go to previous message, right? So if somebody says sure, they'll be taken to a website. If somebody says what else do you have, they'll be shown these options over here. All right, so I went ahead and just filled in the whole flowchart with all the options. It took some time. So if you click on view flowchart, you'll be able to see all the different options here, as well as any potential errors that will prevent you from proceeding, right? So if you don't see this create button over here that allows you to proceed, you would have to address all these issues first. So this looks good. So this is basically what this looks like. Sorry, let's go to previous message here, and you have all the options. So that's basically the conversation that we're going to be using here for this campaign. All right. So now that we've created this conversation, we can click on advertise. We can click on create new campaign group. So let's say we're going to name this Synergy Spanish Conversation Campaign, and then we're going to select messaging here. You can't select the budget here at the campaign group level. You're going to be able to select it at the campaign level here with this campaign type. We're going to click create. We're going to click on the conversation. We are going to create a new campaign, and we're just going to quickly go through it because hopefully you should know now how to create this campaign. So for the campaign name, let's say we want to target just Canada and US, and let's say we want to target frequent international travelers. So we're going to come in here. We're just going to edit this, United States, and we want to target frequent international travelers. There you go. And then we only have the single image ad, placements, the daily budget, let's say $50. And let's say we want to make our manual bid at, let's say, $10. We're going to come down. That's the conversion. We're going to click next. So we do have to create different ads. We can't use the same ads that we've used before. It says no content found. So we're just going to click on create new ads here, and it should be pretty quick anyway. And then here we're going to name it, let's say, Synergy Spanish Convo. Introductory text, right? So this is what's going to get somebody's attention. So we're going to say, hey, looking to learn Spanish quickly and easily, for example. We could also add an image. Let's say we can add this Spanish flag image over here. And then if somebody clicks on this ad, right, the whole conversation is going to show up, the one that we've set up. So we're going to select our conversation here. As you can see here, there is no option to create a conversation, right? So you have to actually set it up before and then come here. That's why it's a best practice to first do everything and then create the campaign. And then you have the call to action. So what do you want people to do? You want them to send you a message, right? Obviously, that's kind of the main goal. And then we're just going to click on save. And now this campaign is going to be added to our campaigns here. So we'll give it a second and then we're going to click next. And we just want to make sure everything looks good. And then we're going to go ahead and click on launch campaign. And we're going to click view campaigns. And we're going to get rid of that. So we are going to go ahead and pause this campaign. And then let's look at all our paused campaign groups here. So sorry, let's pause that. And so we have the 3 different campaign groups. So congratulations, you should have a good idea of how to create these LinkedIn ad campaigns now. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. So last but not least, I want to show you how to create the audiences, which is very important so that you can remarket to those people, as well as how to create lookalike audiences. And then I just want to go over some of these other options they have here, which you could find value in. So first off, by the way, like I said, all the column data is over here. So you'll be able to see your conversions here, your cost per conversion, your leads, right? And again, if you want to edit the columns, you just click here and you select what you want to target, or you can click on customize columns and customize them yourself. So for the audience lists, okay, so there are 2 ways you can create audiences. So the first one is when you go to plan and you click on audiences. So the easiest one is the saved audience. So this is pretty cool. This will allow you to create an audience that you will no longer have to manually set up, like what we had to do here with our 3 campaigns. So if you click on create audience over here, you can, for example, let's say let me dismiss that. Let's say we want to target United States and Canada for this audience. And then we want to target, let's say our interest group, right? The frequent travelers. So frequent international travelers. Now, the cool thing about this is once you're happy with that, you can click on apply and then LinkedIn will give you the data for these people. So in Canada and the US, it will tell you where these people are from, what they're in, what their content is, location, members, companies, like what companies they work for, the frequent travelers from Google, right? So this is really cool stuff that you could just look at and glance over. And then once you're ready with this, you can rename the campaign. So this is frequent international travelers. You only have 25 characters, so let's just say frequent travelers, and then we'll say US, Canada. Maybe let's remove the dash because there's no space, and then we're going to hit the check mark, and then we're going to click manage and click on save, okay? And that's going to save your campaign. You can also add a description if you like, and then if you go back here, you're going to have the saved campaign. So if you go to advertise, and if you go to any of the campaigns we did, let's click on campaigns, let's say this one, click on edit. In your campaign creation process, you have this saved audience here, right? So you can click on save audience and you can just select this option here, and then it's just going to replace everything we did, but it'll be much easier so that if you know that you have this one specific audience that you want to target, this is how you would do it. It's so much easier, which in retrospect, maybe we should have done first because it could have been easier, but I kind of wanted to go in alphabetical order, so to speak. So that's one of the audiences you can do. The other audiences, you have this matched audience, which is like a lookalike audience. So LinkedIn no longer has a lookalike audience, as you can see here, but they do have predictive audience, which is basically the same thing. So if you click on create audience, let me go over these 2 options here with you. You have the matched audience and you have the predictive audience. So the matched audience here, you'll be able to upload a list of your contacts here from your company, for example, or if you have offline events, or you can retarget by company page. So people that visited a certain page, or people that visited or saw your document with a document ad or a lead gen form, you can target and you can create that audience here. People that have engaged with your ads or with your company. So you could do that. The other option here you have is this predictive audience. It's not letting us do a predictive audience here because we don't have many conversions, or we have 0 conversions on this account. So what I'm going to do is let me just hop into my other account. Now that you know how to do everything, let me hop into my other accounts, which does have conversion data, so that you can see what this looks like. All right, so I'm in my other ad account here, and I'm going to click on create audience, predictive audience over here. And this is where you can choose whether you want it to be from a contact list, which you would import from your website, from your company, from a conversion. So over here, we have a free guide sign up conversion, for example, or from a lead gen form, right? So the lead gen form that you create here, the ads that you ran, you would be able to create an audience from these people, to create a lookalike audience, basically, right? People that resemble those people that signed up on your form. So really cool stuff. Now, we don't have it here, obviously, but let me show you, for example, with this conversion. So you're going to select this free guide signups. And by the way, to do any of these lookalike audience, you need at least 300 members. So we don't have 300 here, but this will be enough just to show you the example. So you would give this a name, let's say free guide signups lookalike audience. You would select your country, and then you would say how many people do you want in this audience list. The more people you select, the less accurate, of course, it's going to be, because then LinkedIn will run out of people that are most likely to be lookalike, right? To be similar to your audience, and they're going to kind of expand the reach. So you can also select location. Let's say we want to do United States, and I hate how it does that. You can click exit there. And then here, as you can see, let's suppose if we clear Canada, now the maximum number is bigger, right? And that's because here it says the maximum size is limited to 10% of the total member population of that country, or 50 million, whichever is lower. So US has way more people than Canada, so that's why this number here is much higher. But you would select it, 1 million is probably good, might not be enough, but it's going to be much more specific, much more accurate than something like this. And then once you select your number, you just go ahead and click on agree and create. Now, we wouldn't be able to do this because we don't have the 300, but that's how this works. Now, the other sort of audience you can do is an audience for people that interacted with your website. So you're going to go to Analyze, click on Website Actions, which is a little bit weird that it's here as opposed to under Plan, right? So you have audiences here and then you have audiences here, kind of all over the place. But regardless, this is how you do it. So you would click on Create Audience. And I'm still in my other account, so I can show you this stuff because we don't have any conversion data set up in the other account. I can't really show you in the new account, so I'm just showing it here in this older account, right, that does have the data. So let's suppose here we want to create an audience of people. So this is my website, by the way, right? So LinkedIn automatically scans the website here, which is really cool. And then I can choose what I want to click on or like which button I want to track. So it's really cool as well. Or you can select pages, people that access what page. So let's suppose I want to see people that landed on my, let's say my training courses page, right? So then we would name this Ivan Mena courses. So people that are interested in my courses, right? Let's say in the last 60 days, right? And we want to create an audience on that. We're going to click on next step. We're going to click on agree and create. And now this is going to create an audience for that. So if I go into audiences now, it's going to show up right here, right? So this is going to be a list of people that landed on this page, right? Which you will be able to set if you go to Analyze and Website Actions. You'll be able to select which exact page you want to target, right? So it could be people that have landed on your landing page, could be people that landed on your thank you page, right? People that signed up, and if you want to target them. And then if you go into Advertise over here, and if you go to any campaign, let's select a sample campaign here. This is a guitar campaign. If we scroll down here, now we will be able to select the audience list, right? So here from our audience, so we have the lookalike, which is basically that predictive audience list, right? You have predictive here, which again, we don't have either. And so we're going to select retargeting because this is the audience group that we've set up. And then we're going to select website, right? And then here we have the Von Mana courses right here, that audience list that we set up that we can target. So now we'll be targeting these people no matter where they are, but we know that they've been to my page. To my courses page, right? So this is how we'll be able to target them. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to share with you about audiences is that you can create different audience groups. So for example, a group of people that visited this page and a group of people that signed up, and then you can exclude people that signed up or bought, for example, right? So you can go into here, you can narrow, and you can say, hey, I want to target let's say people that went on my courses page, right? But then I want to exclude the buyers, right? I don't want to target the buyers. So then you would go into retargeting, website, and over here, I believe I do have buyers, but if you don't, you would, create the group. So over here, we're targeting people that went on my courses page, but we're excluding people that bought, right? So therefore, these ads will kind of tempt them to buy, and we will know that these people haven't bought already. So we don't kind of be annoying to the people that already purchased. So that's how you would do that, right? So that's pretty much it for the audiences. Hopefully that gives you an idea. And that's pretty much it for the audience lists. I think I covered everything there is to know. You guys can explore all these different options here. I think we went through all that. We went through advertise, plan, the audience. You have assets over here. If you click on landing pages, this is a really cool feature, but you do need to have recruiter access, which is basically a paid feature of LinkedIn that allows you to find workers, right? Allows you to find employees. So if you have that paid feature, paid access on your account, you would be able to create landing pages on LinkedIn as well. So pretty cool. You could go to your company page over here, which I believe will be just my Ivan Mana page that I created. And another cool thing I wanted to share with you is this business manager. So if you click over here, this is basically like the Facebook business manager where you will have all your campaigns in one. So you can just click on create business manager, super simple to do. I'm going to go ahead and sign in because I already have one. And this is basically a place which will allow you to have all these different LinkedIn ad accounts, right? So if you click on ad accounts over here, you can add accounts and you can claim ownership. So if you want, you could claim ownership of one of these accounts over here that you have. Now, this isn't super useful if you are just promoting your own product. So if you just want to promote your own stuff as your own business, don't worry about this. But if you are an agency or you want to help a friend or something like that, this is where this could come in handy, because then you could just request access to all these other accounts that need your help. And then you can manage them from here. So this is like your main dashboard for everything that you have, right? But again, if you're just promoting your own content, you don't really need to do that. But I thought I'd show you. This is in beta, so hopefully they'll be rolling this out for just regular accounts in general. I think this is a pretty cool, pretty convenient interface to see all the different pages, to see all the accounts. The only thing is obviously you can't create your own ad account. You can't create your pages here, which is what I don't like, right? So that's why if you're just promoting your own stuff, use this. But if you're an agency and you want to promote other companies' LinkedIn accounts, this is how you would do it. And that pretty much covers everything there is to know about LinkedIn ads. Let me know in the comments, guys, if I missed anything. I think that pretty much covers everything there is. We've created different campaign types. We set up different audiences. We set up different conversions, right? We looked at some of the other features they have here. So I think that's pretty much it. Hopefully this was helpful. And if you do want to try Unbounce yourself, this is my favorite landing page builder. Like I said, I've been using it for about 5 years now. If you guys head over to go.ivanmana.com/unbounce, I do give you a 14-day free trial and an exclusive 20% off on your first 3 months or 35% off on your first year with Unbounce. Really cool. You can give it a try. And of course, you can contact me for help or look at my other YouTube videos which help you with Unbounce, right? Which I just have so many videos how to use this. Again, I just absolutely love it. I also invite you to check out my website, guys, at ivanmana.com. where I have many comprehensive, very thorough, detailed training courses here on various paid ad networks. If you enjoyed this tutorial and how detailed it was, these ones are even more detailed. The Google Ads Mastery, for example, Microsoft Ads Mastery are about 5-hour-long courses, which cover everything there is to know about these. And they also come with case studies. So you actually see real numbers, real people, real success stories, things like that. Really cool. All right. That said, I hope you guys found value. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.